Barry Gibb finally opens up about the truth he carried for years about Kenny Rogers. To the public, Barry Gibb has always been seen as the final voice of the Bee Gees, the brother who remained when the harmonies fell silent. His music defined generations, filled dance floors, and became the soundtrack of countless lives. But behind the legendary career was a man who lived through quiet heartbreak, and among all the people who shaped his journey, one name stayed close to his heart: Kenny Rogers. Barry was born on September 1, 1946, in the small Isle of Man. It was a peaceful place, far removed from the global fame he would one day know. Music surrounded him from his earliest days. It wasn't a hobby in the Gibb home, it was a lifeline. As the oldest child, Barry naturally became the one who held things together. When his brothers Robin and Maurice began singing with him, their voices blended effortlessly, creating something rare and powerful. In the late 1950s, the family moved to Australia, chasing opportunity. Life wasn't easy, but music kept them moving forward. The brothers performed wherever they could, learning discipline, patience, and resilience. Even then, Barry stood out as the quiet leader, not demanding attention but earning respect through dedication. When they returned to England in the 1960s, success finally arrived. Songs like Massachusetts, New York Mining Disaster 1941, and To Love Somebody touched listeners because they sounded honest. Barry wrote from emotion, not formula. His lyrics felt like conversations, not performances, and people connected to that sincerity. As the years passed, Barry's voice changed. In the 1970s, he discovered the falsetto sound that would later define an era. It wasn't planned, it simply happened. That voice helped create the Bee Gees' biggest chapter. With the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, Barry didn't just make disco popular, he gave it depth. Songs like Staying Alive and How Deep Is Your Love became global anthems, proving that dance music could carry emotion, pain, and hope all at once. At the height of his fame, Barry became one of the most trusted songwriters in the world. He wrote for artists like Barbra Streisand, Diana Ross, Dolly Parton, Celine Dion, and Kenny Rogers. What made Barry different was his ability to disappear into someone else's story. He didn't write songs for himself, he wrote songs that fit the soul of the singer. But behind the success, loss was slowly tearing his world apart. In 1988, his younger brother Andy died. In 2003, Maurice was gone. Then in 2012, Robin passed away. With each loss, Barry lost more than family, he lost pieces of his identity. The Bee Gees were never meant to be one voice, yet suddenly, that's what remained. It was during those years that Kenny Rogers became more than a colleague. He became a quiet support. Kenny understood pain without needing to explain it. He had lived through reinvention, failure, and recovery. He knew what it meant to survive fame without letting it harden you. Barry later admitted that Kenny's presence helped him breathe again when everything else felt heavy. Kenny never offered speeches or advice. He listened. He stayed. And sometimes, that was enough. Barry once shared that Kenny taught him how to grow older without fear. "You don't fight time," Kenny told him. "You walk with it." Those words stayed with Barry and changed how he viewed aging, music, and life itself. That influence showed in Barry's later work. His songs became quieter, more personal. He stopped chasing trends and started chasing truth. If a song hurt, he let it hurt. If it healed, he let it heal. That honesty, Barry admitted, came from watching how Kenny lived. In 2020, Barry released Greenfields, a project that felt like a return to his roots. He worked with country and Americana artists like Dolly Parton, Alison Krauss, and Jason Isbell, stripping down classic Bee Gees songs to their emotional core. It wasn't about reliving the past, it was about understanding it. One song, Words of a Fool, finally found its moment decades after being written, carrying the weight of time and reflection. That same year, Kenny Rogers passed away. The loss hit Barry deeply. It felt like losing another brother, another steady voice in a world that no longer felt steady. When Barry finally spoke about Kenny, his words were simple but powerful. "Kenny helped me stay human," he said. "In a business that tries to turn you into a brand, he reminded me I was still a person." Barry's later years became about honoring legacy rather than chasing fame. In 2023, he received the Kennedy Center honor, recognizing his lifetime of contribution to music. In 2024, he became executive producer of the Bee Gees biopic, determined to tell the story of his brothers with honesty, love, and truth. At home, Barry's life remained steady. After a short early marriage, he found lifelong partnership with Linda Gray. They married on his 24th birthday and built a family rooted in loyalty and love. Through fame, loss, and reinvention, Linda remained his anchor. Today, Barry Gibb stands not only as a music legend, but as a man shaped by friendship, grief, endurance, and grace. And when he finally spoke about Kenny Rogers, it wasn't to reveal scandal or secrets. It was to express gratitude. Because the truth, Barry said, is this. Kenny Rogers didn't just sing songs. He taught people how to feel them. And he taught me how to keep going when everything else fell away.